So here we are in the continuing saga of American Megafauna. Well, the card that was drawn this turn was Armored Head Shield, and the Tusker took it. And that seemed kind of, what's it gonna do? Well, it did something kind of big. It made it so the turtle can't eat it anymore. The turtle doesn't have armor crushing ability, he just has armor. So, the turtle turned into an herbivore and went into this space. Nothing can eat that turtle. It's got dual armor and speed, which I don't think there's anything that can crush dual. Well, the birds, if they became carnivorous, could do it. But there's nothing else out there that is capable of eating it right now. How about this thing? Yeah, no, he's got armor and dual speed. Okay. So anyway, the turtle is still a one biome creature, but he's an herbivore now. The other thing that we saw, something else changed. This guy keeps considering size changes, but if he makes a size change, one, he loses his food storage, which would kind of suck. Just because the card would have to be pulled out, and it's not that big a deal. But if he went up a size level, he could no longer eat birds. And if he can no longer eat birds, he can't exist, because birds are all he can eat, and he won't be big enough to eat his squizzards. So he's kind of stuck at that small size, whereas our other carnivore here is a little larger and beats him out due to size, basically, in eating the squizzards. Again, we saw the game warden factor, where the choice is, do I help this guy who's not doing that well so far victory point wise? He's not doing bad, horribly. Well, yeah, he is. He's at 7. So, or do I do anything to help the guy who's tied with me? And clearly the answer was, yeah, help the guy with less points. That's one of the mechanisms in the game. We're seeing the marine horses made it all the way up here now. They pretty much wiped out all the squizzard-eating, squizzard-like things. I love that word. Alright, turn over the next card and then make some tea. Ooh, it's a catastrophe. Okay, Cenozoic. Flatulence methane. So, the big effect there, other than a lot of genes, is this goes up. And that's going to be kind of painful. I'm going to show you the effects of that, but one, all the biomes displace north, all bridges will flood, and then in each hex, the biomes will kind of sprout stronger up until the hex capacity. We'll see what happens, but that's going to mean a little bit more life because we've got hexes that are not very high. So as we can see again, the landscape shifted significantly. Some biomes went out of existence, others, like this one, grew significantly, although nothing can eat that. Triple Bs? No. Definitely going to see a lot of competition for resources here. Ooh, this should be a 4. Everything's flooded. We're close to the game being over, where the entire Earth would be flooded. Not sure what happens then. I don't know if there's a winner. If we count points at that moment, I'll look it up if it happens. Certainly not something to count on. But this is what happens when you let these kind of things wander around farting. Alright. Well, that certainly caused some massive die-offs. We still got the squid things the carnivorous version, eating birds only, but they can't eat them here anymore because it now fills the entire area. It's up to biomass 4, and it's not wet enough. Got some areas, oh, that's biomass 4 too, where they have been able to get back, and we see that the horses can eat them. Horses also find, hey, I can eat my relatives. They have both the S and the armor. They're the only thing that can. Turtles cannot be eaten. They're pretty damn invulnerable with 2 armor right now. There's nothing that has 2 armor crushing except for birds. And birds are happier not being predators right now. They're doing very well, actually. Finding themselves all over the place. Which is certainly not what everybody wanted. They were perhaps trying to knock down some of the leaders. Oh well. Alright, let me pull the next card. Ooh, it's going to be another zone. Now this is going to go in a blank space, and I got to figure out which one it goes in. Because there are quite a few. So after a little bit of looking, first of all in the rules, this goes further south and west. It comes in as big as it can, which means it fills the area, so nobody's going to get to eat the yummy coelacanth slaw. But after looking at everything, nobody can do anything. I thought there was at least a growth of a bird up here, but we're out of birds. They're all on the board. And that's not a location they particularly want to put them in. So I'm going to draw a card. And get some teeth. Plankton filtration, baleen bristles, or needle teeth. Good for the ocean. This thing is so far away nobody can reach it. I don't know how much people are interested in adding them into their card. We'll see. So that turn flew by too, and I suspect that's how it would actually go and play once people are kind of used to things and not videotaping at all. Definitely got in my way. The turtle bought the teeth. Spent like 8 on them. It's kind of silly to save genes at this point, but and it's valuable because it would unlock this space, a 4-point space, for either the turtle or for the tusker. I'm not sure why the tusker didn't go higher, but the turtle definitely had more money. So it was just a question of, I have no idea why he did it. I mean, clearly in a real game he would have, but rolling off the way I do, he finally made the decision to back off. Nothing else changed, except he pulled out his speed, his muscular diaphragm, and he's going to become more turtle-ish at this point. But we're almost done. There's only 3 cards left, and this one is salmon. Okay, so this is an orogeny, which means it has to show up in a mountain, and it favors anything. It's going to give everybody a gene. I don't think it favors anything in particular. I believe. I'm not sure where it's going to go. It picks the lowest value, which is probably this one. Yeah, 2 it's got to be. And I'm not sure if it just destroys it or if it partially, if it'll downgrade it. I think it just downgrades it because it's in both, kind of an advantage. I'll look that up. So indeed, the displacement rules would have indicated even if they were in the same space, it would push it into the other one. If it could go there, and it can. So that's what we've got. It's a smaller biome now. And not much changed. My turtle spawned another turtle who went to go live here. Nothing can eat the turtles, nothing can eat the birds and land. So I draw another one. Clothing! Ooh. Unfortunately, this requires tool use. Nobody seems to have tool use. Now, these are tracked a little differently in the new version, as far as I know. At the very least, they're tracked on a little board, which makes them very, very much more helpful. But I don't know. Tool use is covered in here, I think. And the expansion, hopefully, the new stuff does. Cool, exciting new cards, technology cards, clothing with starburst. Do not use an adaptation slot when expressed. Place them at the bottom of the expressing genotype. They require their genotype to have tool use expressed. And then there's a note. And God knows where all the footnotes go. 3. Those who contributed, yeah, that's just to people. Okay. So, I'm not sure if there's a single card for tool use. Certainly, these were a lot more prevalent in the new version, in the sense that they were something you had lots and lots of advantages for. Now, they were a part of the game, and I think it's to allow you to build into origins, so that you'll have some kind of humanish type things here. Now this goes, this has a reptilian auction bonus. I don't know if anybody really wants this that badly enough to bid on it. I'm just gonna give it to him as a freebie, even though somebody probably with piles of money like this guy, because he just got another bonus $4 back out of the 8 he spent, would probably throw a buck in, just because he can't lose any auction anyway. But we'll give the bonus over to our fish things. It looks kind of cute with the dinosaur with the robe. But yeah, I think the new version has some significant differences based on this, and I'm really hoping, like I've said before, that Phil will end up putting out an expanded, some way to expand from one to the other, rather than the, oh yeah, you gotta buy the new one, man, if you want it. Because I think there are some cool things in the new one. Alright, this turn's not going to be too exciting. I can play it out. It's just going to be turtles expanding. As far as I can tell, the birds got nowhere to go. So they're going to get... Oh, they can drive into here too. Oh no, there's no birds left. Okay, so the turtle has to move before the birds. So I'll do this, and then we'll move a bird down here. The turtle beats the bird in both these areas, so it's not gonna survive. And that'll be the end of that turn. And oh look, it's the last card of the game. And bonus, it's a catastrophe. That should be a requirement. Okay, so we're in the Cenozoic. Deccan traps, global volcanic ash cloud, greenhouse down, lots of genes. Nothing's going to change. Greenhouse down is going to move some things, so I do have to worry about that. Okay, genes don't matter. Alright, so I'll figure out what happens, come back with the winner and a little bit of a wrap, and then I'll give the full review on it. Well, that was a photo finish. So after the terrain shifted, things kind of fell out a little differently. And definitely see some movement. I don't know how much of that was really something that wasn't already in place, essentially. MAA. There was space for birds in here, wasn't there? Yes, there was. Birds could have been eating here and they weren't. So, that's 4 more points really for the birds. I calculated out the points, and I thought it was absolutely dead even 25-25 for the first and fourth player. But now when I'm looking at this, I'm realizing the birds should have been in there and should have been at 29. It didn't matter because the tiebreaker is genes, and they had the majority. They had a larger number of genes than the fishies did. So that's that. It's kind of a... I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of luck in the game, and there's certainly planning, etc., that can happen, but, you know, the cards are important, and so many of them never come out that I would guess that each game is very, very different. Anyway, I'll get more into that in my review. We saw here, with all the mistakes and everything, was a completed game.